Dum, dum, dum. I went ahead and hit record, so let's do it. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. Today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have KORPIKLAANI, who has a new album called Aaltonen, which was released on February 5th of 2021 via Nuclear Blast Records. Right now, I'm being joined by Jarkko to share some more information about this amazing release and what the boys have been up to. So, Jarkko, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Absolutely good to have you on, and it also feels, oddly enough, good to say 2021.
Yeah, it has a nice ring to it. You didn't know it a year ago, though.
Not at all. And speaking of which, how has this year gone for you guys? Has it just disrupted everything? I mean, obviously, I know no live shows, but how has this year gone for you guys?
Well, obviously, we had lots of shows planned. We had a tour coming up in, I think, March, and that was the first thing that sort of got cancelled. But we also had the album recordings scheduled. So in the end, because all the shows were cancelled, then we had basically endless amount of time to record the album. So we did, for once, we managed to do a proper pre-production and all that. We went through basically everything way before we actually entered the studio to record them. So that was quite good in that sense, although I would have preferred the lockdown thing to end in a couple of months and then to continue shows, but well, that didn't happen. It was good for a while, like you see that everything is cancelled, and then you see that, whoa, I have 3 weekends, I can do whatever I want to. But then after a couple of months, it sort of got a bit boring.
What kind of things did you get up to that you haven't had time to previously? Like, is it video games or just hanging out with family?
No, I just sit on the couch and drink beer.
Beautiful. What's your beer of choice?
Actually, I don't know if you know this, but we made a beer in collaboration with the local brewery here, and then we have been abusing them so that we just call them every now and then, and then we need more beer, and then we drive there to the brewery and they load our car full of beer, and our favorite beer is the one that they happen to give us at that time.
Okay. Now, what kind of beer is it? Is it like a lager? Is it an ale?
What we did was a sort of a lager, like a Pils kind of lager. But what they have there in the brewery, they have like a huge selection of different kinds of beers. The first batch of ours was sold out, and then they didn't produce it for a moment. Then they started producing it again, and then it was sold out again. And it's been a bit annoying with our beer, but luckily they have other beers available for us at least.
Yeah, this is a luxurious problem to have, Jarkko. They can't keep your beer in stock because it's selling so much.
Yeah, but then again, the problem is that the stores will stop ordering it eventually.
This is also true. So that's a more serious problem.
Yeah, but then again, maybe it's good for the local youth that there is no beer for them.
Exactly. Now, something you mentioned was you guys did proper pre-production, which I'm guessing you probably haven't had a chance to do since, the first album?
Yeah, it's been... many times we have had these excellent plans that this time we'll do differently. This time we will have more time to prepare for the studio, more time to rehearse. And then it's always the same story. Yeah, guys, can you do this and that show? And can you do that festival? And how about if we go to South America for a week and a half? So it's all been all good plans that we have had have failed. But this time we actually managed to do what we wanted to do, and it was a good thing that we did. We actually were, once we get to the studio to actually record it, it was a really nice and relaxed thing. We knew exactly what we were going to be doing, and we did a good album.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask, as far as pre-production is concerned, what sort of things were you guys looking to check off the boxes before heading into the studio?
First of all, we had this was the first time when we actually pre-recorded real drums for the demo tracks. So we had the actual drum tracks and not some drum machine kind of thing. Although Jonne does brilliant drum machine tracks as well, so that has never been a problem. But we had the real drums, and then we went through all the guitars. And then once you have those two, then it's very easy to go through the bass, like what you're gonna do with the bass and how you follow the kick drum or do the same little lick that the guitar does and that kind of stuff, so that you are prepared to all this before you enter the studio, so that none of these little things that you usually have on the album, and none of these little things is a surprise to you when you actually get to the studio.
Yeah.
So it was like everything was very easy there then eventually.
Wow. Real drums on a demo recording in 2020.
Yeah, we've had this. I can't remember which band we were touring years ago. Years ago, we were listening to something. We were about to record the album. We were playing some demo there on the tour bus, and they asked, "Is this your new album?" No, this is our demo. And they were like, "Shit, that sounds better than our albums."
Well, yeah, all the drums are perfect samples. And do you guys do real bass on the demos usually, or is it like a MIDI bass just to get something down?
We record a real bass.
Very cool.
In general, yes.
All right.
And then we have, of course, when we have songs that our accordionist writes, those are a bit different because he plays basically everything with the accordion. He just like a digital accordion, so everything is a MIDI track, and that is a bit different. But that is not the main thing. Like usually we have actual bass.
Cool.
Yeah, depends on the person.
Now, this new album. So you guys started working on it in 2020 then, or was it started working on it in 2019?
Yeah, the songs were being written in 2019, and I think we went to the studio in March or April. I went there by motorcycle, so it had to be April at least.
Mm-hmm. Would be dangerous to go by motorcycle now.
Yeah, or in March, or in Finland. Finland is a lovely country to own a motorcycle.
I bet. Very similar to...
Yeah, it's one of the more stupid purchases that a man can do.
So I've been told. Now, the one I have across my desk here, Jarkko, is that this album somewhat continues the story, maybe not so much the story of the previous album, but a continuation of tales of folklore, nature, celebration, and apparently there's even 3 stories of the Lake Bodom murders. So when you guys set out to work on this album, Jalaha, what was, I guess, the goal, especially since you had time to do pre-production, and if there is a theme or a concept, what is it?
We usually have it's quite rare that we write music to a set of lyrics. It's usually the other way around, that we have the music first, and then we have several sets of lyrics, and then Jonne just goes through them. Okay, this actually I can put this set of lyrics to this melody line and this chorus and so on. So we don't really, that kind of theme, like lyrical theme, we don't really think in advance, and that's why the the end result, like how the general theme on the album will be, it's sort of a surprise to us as well. Like you might think that you hear the music and this is going to be this and this and this, and then you get the actual lyrics and vocals, and you realize that it's not that happy after all when you're singing about dead people all the time.
No, I guess not. In some of the song titles, I mean, so Yalaha I've got means rugged. Is that a correct translation? Rugged?
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be a problem when we named it that way, because we were trying to figure out the proper translation and realized that we failed with the title because I don't know proper one word to translate that to English. That is like usually used to describe a scenery or landscape, like a majestic landscape or that kind of thing.
Okay.
But also rugged is a good word as well.
Yeah, as you were saying, definitely a little bit different than at least my interpretation immediately of rugged, but I get it looking at the artwork.
Yeah, it is there. Also, actually, when you mentioned the Budam murders, actually the album has, I think, there's one song about the Budam murders, but there's in total, I think, 6 songs about murder cases in general, which is a bit weird for us. And all of them are like unsolved, like this mysterious cases that, still are like that the country has been trying to find the killer for 60 years or something. And then if you look at the album cover, you can actually see that the guy on the album cover has a bloody knife in his hand. So there's a connection to the connection between the cover and the lyrical theme.
Well, that's dark, Jarkko.
I know. It was an accident. Sorry.
I'm curious if it's an unusual thing. As far as I know from your guys' body of work, it's pretty unusual. Was somebody just watching a lot of like crime drama stories or something?
No, it is. We have this Tuomas Keskimäki, friend of ours, who's writing the lyrics for us. And I asked him about this, and he has no explanation. He writes a lot, and there was a period in his life that he was writing about this kind of stuff. There's the album is not, apart from like 2 songs, like lyrically the album is not a happy album. I hope the guy is okay.
It's unsolved. It's a mystery.
Yeah, well, I mean the lyricist.
I did see the bloody knife, and I thought, okay, like this guy looks kind of ominous. He looks a little rugged. I wonder what happened to this guy.
Yeah, he's actually we borrowed the face from the same bloke that has now been playing the main role in our last few videos.
Okay. Now, were those videos shot before lockdown or like in the middle of lockdown? How were these videos done during this time?
Just during the lockdown. We don't really have a lockdown in Finland. We just have to avoid people, and we are in Finland, so that's not that difficult. It's actually pretty much just a normal day.
Well, and it looks very familiar. I believe we had chatted last time a couple years ago. Maybe it was that long ago for the previous record, and it was on a family farm with family involved, I believe, and it looks very similar in these music videos.
Oh yeah, we did that was yes. The hell was the name of the song? Henkselipoika. Yeah, we did that at a farm, at least. And and we have like, if the videos look the same, it's probably because the director is the same guy. Like everything, we have been filming the videos in like all around the country, but it's the same band, it's the same people doing all the all the things. So eventually everything looks the same.
Okay. Now, the two singles that have been released so far, Leväluhta and Mylly. Leväluhta, I have it translates to algae.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is actually for the first part of the word levä, that is actually the correct translation. Although I believe that the Finnish word in that name is some sort of corruption of something else that doesn't really mean that. But yes, your internet dictionary worked properly.
I was like, all right, we got rugged algae, and then originally I was told that Mylly means mill, but it also came up as grinder, which makes sense. A mill is essentially...
Yeah. It's the same word in Finnish, the grinder or the actual mill house.
Okay. Is it the mill house, or is it a grinder? What is this, or what are these two tracks about in particular? Are these more mysteries?
Leväluhta is one of these, let's say, murder songs, in the sense that there is a little well or a pond, this natural well, that the story, like the legends have told for centuries, that at some time of the year the water turns red, and they thought that it's of course old. In the old times, people said that it's blood and whatever, and then eventually people started to study that thing and found like 100 bodies in the swamp. So actually it was like no one knows why they were there. Maybe it was some sacrificial thing, or maybe it was a punishment or something. No one knows. But like 100 bodies found in the same little hole, and therefore also the video that we did was sort of reflecting that. And then this Mylly is more of an not the real story, but an old legend. This country is full of these stories about the devil and the mill. I don't know why, but it is like quite common theme here.
Okay. The devil and the mill. Anything with regard to bread or whatever the mill does? Is it bad to eat things that come from a mill?
I think it is. I think it is something that mill is something that you need to provide food for yourself and your family, and then the devil is there to try to lure you away from that, and trying to sort of make you do things that are not good for you or your other people close to you.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like if the devil is in the mill, it looks like it's KORPIKLAANI according to the music video.
Well, when you put it that way, yes. we took some artistic freedoms there.
Now, is this an actual...
Especially when it was so fucking cold outside when we were filming.
It doesn't look cold, but I'll take your word for it. Because you guys aren't like... I mean, the drummer think he's got his shirt off. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was a cold day. Like, not like awfully cold, but it was like you started to get ice on the surfaces, and the actual mill house inside was for some reason colder than the outside.
Trapping all the nighttime air or whatever.
Yeah, and of course the cold water flowing through the whole building. So.
Oh, that's an old school mill right there, using water.
Yeah, that's an actual, like, I don't know, a few hundred years old.
Well, that's fantastic. How did you guys end up finding this mill?
That I actually don't know where that came from, but it was like we have been going around a lot in the same region, so I think actually the video director is from that region. it is not the region that I'm that familiar with. So maybe he's just like from 100 meters away from the mill, but I can't remember that.
Mm-hmm. And then I thought it was dust, but is that flour that's all over everything you guys are playing?
Yeah, it was flour. And it was everywhere once we were done. Like seriously, everywhere.
Oh man, got to be careful. You guys would be coughing like crazy after that.
Yeah, but I'd hate to be the drummer cleaning that stuff.
Oh, I know. It was everywhere and everything. It's all over him. Looks cool though.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Beautiful.
And that's the main thing. You have to look cool.
You do have to look cool. This is very true. And okay, I'm trying to think about any other questions I may have. Is there anything that you wanted to chat about? We chatted about the couple of singles, music videos, the album. We chatted about how this year went. You guys were able to do the proper pre-production, which is fantastic. Did you guys take any more time in the studio to maybe layer a few more parts or something? Or was it just the pre-production where you said, this is what we're going to do? And then
actually we were quite, because of the proper pre-production, we were actually quite fast in the studio. And then we did a little tiny different thing, was that we finally have what I've been telling many years that we should be more shameless when it comes to the vocals, and we should use more of this very simple vocalize in the background, just someone singing ah or ooh or whatever. And now we have that. We had a good friend of ours doing some very nice background vocals for us, like very high male voice, which is really cool in the background. And that is something that is a bit different. And then, of course, one thing that made quite a huge difference already with the pre-production and actual songwriting as well is that we did change the drummer about a year ago. And the new drummer has had a lot of input to the songs and to the arrangements and what we actually do. So it's been sort of a kick in the ass for the rest of us as well to have a new guy in the band.
Yeah. What does he bring to the team? I mean, you just mentioned a couple of things, but I mean, maybe more from a drumming perspective, what does he bring to the table that maybe, because it still sounds like KORPIKLAANI, obviously, but how does he change things?
Well, as a drummer, he's like more solid, more, let's say, technically better, and even like more musical drummer who actually sort of understands the I think sees or hears what the song needs, and he really has his own view on how will this song become better. And so he really had this input on the songs. He was there again, now remember which song it is, but he was the one who said, well, like everybody else was happy already, but then he says, I'm not happy with this song, this needs something. Jonne, write a new chorus. And then a few days later there's a new chorus and the song is immediately better. It was good already, but he had this feeling that this needs something, and he said that, and then we did it, and it became a lot better immediately. So,
wow, very cool stuff. All right. Well, is there anything that I missed that you wanted to chat about, Jarkko?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. We chatted about new drummer, how awesome he is. He's making songs that are good, even better.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And we talked about beer.
Mm-hmm. We talked about beer and motorcycles.
Yes. We didn't talk about Motorhead, though.
No. No, we didn't.
No. Yeah, but that's another interview.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. How Finnish girls keep you warm in the month of December. We didn't chat about that.
No. let's not get in there.
We chatted about the mill being covered in flour and not getting any baker's lung.
Yeah, hopefully no one's gonna have lung cancer or anything. I think it's just flour.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, I believe that covers everything. So thank you so much, Jarkko, for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast.
Okay, no worries. It was a pleasure.